TikTok is going to be completely different from 2026 and beyond, simply because of the new app that's coming and several other of these key features that TikTok is now utilizing to help accounts grow and prioritizing with its new algorithm. So I'm going to go ahead and break down what you need to know for 2026 and beyond. But before we get into that, we have to know the future of what's going on with TikTok. There's been a lot of controversy with the TikTok ban, whether it's going to get banned, whether it's not, divestiture, all of those things. And it's been happening for literal years, but finally we have a solution. The new deal includes a new US app, American user data inside of US Oracle data storage. They're going to be monitoring suspicious activity, and they're going to have a majority American board with one member appointed by the government. And the algorithm is still going to be licensed through ByteDance. Things shouldn't change too much. There might be some small things depending on subjects and interests that may or may not be monitored based on privacy and what the United States wants to push or not, but that's few and far between, and we're going to go ahead and see that as the app comes. But there are things that the ByteDance algorithm has begun to favor, and the first of those things is your ability to search. So if you see it on the For You page, once you go ahead and go to and scroll through videos, you go to the comments and you go ahead and see the blue link that's on top of the comment section. It's usually some sort of word or term that has something to do with the video, along with a little search bar that has a term as well. If you go ahead and click either one of those things, a new pop-up comes up where it doesn't actually even take up the whole screen. You're now able to go ahead and see and search through videos about that search topic. And you can scroll through while the video is playing in the background now, which is actually a new feature in the mid-late 2025. But you're able to scroll through those videos and see if there's anything that interests you. You can go ahead and scroll all the way up, and you'll be able to go ahead and search through those videos that comment, that blue link, or that search bar on the bottom brought you, right? So those things are really important as the creator, because that means that you are getting people involved in TikTok culture. See, the difference between TikTok and a lot of the other social medias is how fast TikTok is with content and creating trends. And that's something that all the other social medias right now are jealous of. Instagram, the Instagram CEO even said it as well, is that something that they want to try to get with Instagram is those search features. You're seeing it if you're on Instagram, by the way, you're seeing those blue links in the search features, just like on TikTok, because they want that same trend ability to go ahead and pop, right? And so they don't have that right now on Instagram or a lot of other social media platforms. So that's a big thing. The other thing that does for the algorithm is shows intent. I went ahead and asked Claude what that intent looks like and what search looks like and how search works via the AI, and what are things that the AI looks for in search patterns and recognitions right here.
TikTok's AI has gotten incredibly sophisticated beyond just text analysis. It's doing real-time object recognition in your videos, spotting products, locations, even specific activities you're doing. The facial expression analysis is wild too. It can detect emotions and reactions to understand content mood. It tracks micro behaviors like where viewers pause, re-watch, or scroll past. Plus, it analyzes the actual visual aesthetics and color schemes. The algorithm even connects content through complex relationship mapping between creators and topics.
So as you can see, a lot of relational data and user data, the way that you actually use and experience TikTok through clicks and searches and those things really do matter. So they're able to go ahead and serve up the best videos to you based on your interest through those searches and what you click through in the comments, what you read, etc. So how are you able to apply this to your account? One of the things that you can do is utilize different things that are searchable in day-to-day life, things that are trending, things that are in the news, and be able to go ahead and incorporate that into your content. For example, you could be a budgeting app in, say, Taylor Swift just bought a $50,000 ring and you can barely afford groceries, right? That kind of thing. So you use something like Taylor Swift's ring, $50,000, and incorporated and made it into something that is relevant for you, or in this example, a budget app, right? But being able to do something like that will help with search, people that are interested in Taylor Swift, but also interested in budgeting, right? And so the advanced algorithm is able to go ahead and find those people. Now, if you want to learn more, I have a community down in the description, and it's only $99 for lifetime access. We go ahead and break down all of these things. Go ahead and check it out. Otherwise, I have a free download that discusses as well all of these things with the blue search bar and how to create the content that gets you views by using search and the blue link in the comment section. So go ahead and check that out down there as well. From what I've seen over the past year and what I've seen growing accounts since 2019 on TikTok, followers are harder to get. Okay. And don't be mad, don't be frustrated about this, but followers are harder to get. The reason is because now that we have an interest-based algorithm, nobody has the incentive to actually go ahead and follow you. And a lot of people post a lot of random content about 35 different things. Think about it like a TV show. If you were to go ahead and turn on ESPN, if you got cooking and you got video games and then you have religious content, then history content, and then a sporting event in the middle, you're getting too many things. You tune into ESPN for sports specifically. That's kind of how accounts work with TikTok as well, because we all have different interests, right? You want to focus on the thing that you do best. And it doesn't have to be so niche and specific that although you're niche, you're broad enough to go ahead and make it feel like you're a creator, that you're a human. Because if it's too niche, you almost feel like it becomes robotic and it's about specifically that thing rather than being able to touch on a multitude of things. For example, if you're in beauty, you could talk about hair, you could talk about nails, you could talk about different products that work for you, your monthly empties, all of these things. You're just kind of in that realm. You're not specifically one thing, right? You're not the ponytail, doing ponytails a specific way. You're able to go ahead and be a little more broad than what you used to be able to and cover those things. But TikTok in general now, with its smarter AI, knows exactly what your account is about. Okay, so that is another big thing. Now, the final piece that I want to talk about on SEO before I move on is that if you're a brand new account, you're going to want to go ahead and use 1 to 3 hashtags. You're going to want to use keywords in your caption. You're going to want to put keywords on your screen. You're going to want to say some of those keywords as well, because with the new account, TikTok is trying to figure out who you are, what you're about, who you serve. So if you're going to go ahead and create the content around a general sphere like we talked about, you can go ahead and use different hashtags around those things so that TikTok can better understand what you're about. As your account gets older, as you make more content, TikTok's gonna go ahead and put you in a bucket themselves. But if you're starting, you might as well get them in the bucket that you want, as close to of what you want them to do as possible. So helping them out with that definitely helps as you're a beginner. Posting times, and not posting times at the way that you think. Not posting at 9 a.m. or 3 a.m. or 5 a.m., but almost a posting timeline, right? So let's say you're doing a personal training deal, right? And you're going to start, January 1st or December 1st or whatever. Creating content that leads you to that timeline is something that a lot of creators are doing that are getting a lot of views. They're able to get immediate views because they use that timeline, quote unquote, like seasonal content, right? And that gets TikTok to want to push your content immediately because they know that it's only relevant for a certain amount of time. So a lot of Halloween content did amazing from October 1st to October 31st. But on November 1st, it went completely quiet because it's no longer relevant. But let's say you were going to go ahead and, or I was going to go ahead and say, we're going to do a December 1st reset or a January 1st reset of your content, and we're going to do a 30-day thing together, right? Or I'm going to hold this massive event in 30 days where you're going to be able to learn everything, okay? Leading up to that, I can say day 1, day 2, day whatever, or I can say on December 1st, I'm holding this event, but this is what you need to know before that event, right? All of those things, the algorithm is able to go ahead and calculate and realize that this content has a time frame. So they want to go ahead and push it in that time frame. And if it does well, it'll go ahead and blow up in that time frame. And you can go ahead and use this tactic again and again seasonally, depending on what you do, what kind of content that you talk about. But you can do it for different points of the year, based on whether it's holidays or whether it's warm weather or cold weather, whatever content that you make. But you can see how plugging those timelines in will really be useful for your content. And then the final thing that I'm seeing, in the age of AI, in the age of all this stuff, it's important to still be human and show that human side, right? So for example, instead of being very stringent, and this is something where I'm starting to open up a little bit more too, and I will be more open in my content. But one of the things that I did was always try to give the best information and not show you any of my personality or talk anything about me. But in the age of AI, it's so important that you have this aspect, that they have other things that people know about you. So for example, people now know that I love the Minnesota Vikings. I'm a big Vikings fan. But some other things, right? Even if they don't make sense or even if they're not trendy, you want to make sure that people know that you're you. For example, this bag right here, this is one of those little Lulu bags, and I've had it for years. And it was trendy a few years ago, and it's not trendy anymore, but I still use it every day, and I still wear it every day because it's useful for me, right? Because I'm able to keep all my stuff organized because I'm somebody who loses all of those things. But if I'm able to keep it all in there, I don't care what you think about what I think about this bag, right? Because it helps me. Same thing with these boxy fit hoodies and shirts and things. I'm so glad that that's a trend right now because I'm a broad guy. I have long legs. I kind of have a short torso, and it almost looks like it's fitted to me when I wear a boxy fit that's fitted. So I'm going to go ahead and probably lean on that trend longer than most people because I like the way it looks and I like the way that they feel on me. But those are things that you need to be able to kind of show in your content too, that you're not just somebody who's behind the camera just spitting and regurgitating information. There has to be some things as well that people like about you that they can cling on to, ask questions about, and that make you you, right? That's part of being a content creator in the age of technology.